Step one, set the timer. Otherwise, if I go over and we're having a nice conversation and everything's going well, and then TikTok's little stupid puzzle piece comes up and it boots you. So, gotta try to remember to set the timer. I never think I'm gonna go an hour, but sometimes you do. First and foremost, good morning. Hey, Chad Sparks, first one in. Wow, guys, I just went in. I've already got 300 people in the house. I love you guys. You're awesome. I didn't want to not put something up today. I'm really trying to get back to going on live in the mornings. It's good for me. You know, I get my lives out. I'm able to chit-chat and get my day off to a good start. And so on and so forth. I have a mountain of stuff outside to serve, to scrap. I've got a few more servers to do. I've got a lot of PCs that I got in my last pickup. My last pickup I overpaid for. And I actually knew it when I did it. But one of the things that I saw, and I made him swear to me they were in there, they were all a lot of small form computers with i5 chips in them. I believe i5's certain serial numbers are still paying fairly well. So if I break even and I'm able to restock the eBay store, that'll be good. You know, that's one thing about being any kind of content creator, is you've got to have content to create, huh? Hi, JPZ Scrap, good morning. Hey, JPZ Scrap, what part of the country are you in, and where do you sell your e-scrap? I have got to find something closer than Cleveland, Ohio. Obviously, I've got plenty to sell. I am just going to do some smalls this morning. It is an absolutely spectacular day outside, and really, it's not humid. It's really comfortable out. I haven't been to the beach yet this year. I've been hanging out in my backyard, and I think I'm going to treat myself to lunch in the beach. There's a really nice little restaurant right on the water, not too far from home, and I think I'm going to go do that. So, good morning, scrappers. You're still looking too, huh? Okay. Thanks. JPZ Scrap says he's mostly depopulating boards and putting stuff aside. He hasn't got any place to suggest. You know, I'm okay with what I've got. I've got to find a cheaper shipping. So, good morning, scrappers, scrappets, planet lovers, et al., and friends of the channel, and everybody else. Nice to see the channel growing. I am sorry that it's at the expense of OTD's channel not taking a little break, but you know, he has TikTokitis right now. The poor guy, he's been through a lot with it. Hopefully he comes on and he gets onto the chat here, and some of you can say hello, and that's important. He's a good guy. You know, I have a soft spot for service people. My dad was a veteran. All right. I didn't want to get into a big complicated scrap this morning. I do have one more really old vintage computer. I think I'm going to save that for my Sunday morning live. A lot of the stuff that I've got outside to scrap from yesterday's pickup, it's a lot of Dell PowerEdge servers. If there's no RAM in them, I'm going to really be PO'd, but we'll see what happens. Alright, hi Chad, how are you? Alright, here we go. So, I found some different things to scrap. I did take this apart. I wound up taking it apart because it was damaged. See, it's a 3.5 floppy drive, and they are worth going after because of this. These are really great gold pins. There's not a lot here, but I think there's enough here to, oh crap, the timer thing. There's enough here to, warrant pulling it. I just probably clip this garbage, and I'll put that in a category by itself. 3.5 floppy boards or something. Really nice gold pins. I tend to put things in their own category and sell them by the pound. I am working on a very silly project. I am working on Goldie boxes. Yes, you heard me right, Goldie box. I think I'm going to take some U.S. priority mail boxes, which, you get a set flat shipping rate on, and I'm going to fill them with odds and ends gold-bearing material and just sell them that way. That way I don't have to worry so much. I don't know. Goldie box. I don't even know where that came to, but it came to me last night. So the storage bin is under control. We have all that sorted. I have a lot of computers and stuff outside. My neighbors think I've lost my mind. I'm building a metal storage shed outside for my metal and e-scrap rubbish to live in. And, yeah. Very small piece of brass, but hey, brass nonetheless. Copper took a nosedive, huh, guys? Jeez Louise, Louise, Louise. I can't believe how bad that went. Now, I save this kind of stuff up, and this is the kind of stuff I'd put in, like, a Goldie box. I used to call it sloppy seconds, but they're really not sloppy. There's, people who refine this stuff. But it weighs nothing. So, those are some things I'm saving. I don't think there's anything else of any worth. I'm not sure what's in here. I know it's a motor. Anything good in here? Anything good in these, anything good in these 3.5 floppies that I need to look for? Up till recently, I was just selling them as, media drives. I'll tell you though, a lot of the scrap prices dropped. Really bad. And, that's the nature of the business, right, guys? Ebb and flow, stuff like that. Alright, I'm going to put that aside because I want to see if there's anything in here. We'll go back for that. Alright. Dell Optiplex 7050. That is a small form computer, I believe. I wouldn't expect a lot in here, except somewhere around here I saw i5. Core i5. This is just in with it was in with a lot that I bought, but he gave me a couple of boxes of extra stuff. As I indicated to him, I thought the price was too much. So he sweetened the pot a little bit. It's okay, like I said, because I do know what's in most of these. I know what I can expect to get out of them. Wow, good morning. A lot of new people in the house today, and good morning to all of you. For those of you who have not yet found my channel or wondering what I'm doing, I scrap computers. That is my focus area. I obtain non-working, broken, and antiquated computer equipment, which I take apart and sell for parts. Wow. It don't come any more small form than that, guys. Holy crap. I mean, usually I wouldn't have even bothered with this, and I'm not even sure that I'm going to be any better off for bothering with it. Wow. I don't even usually bother with this. This is an impact wrench, and I really got to make a trip to Home Depot. They had a package a couple of weeks ago. Buy 2 screwdrivers, get 2 chargers and 2 batteries. but I can't get either one of the screwdrivers to charge. And they gave me such a hard time about returning it that I walked out and left, and I have to go back and deal with it again. I just, you know, some days you're just not in the mood to deal with idiotic people, and that was the kind of mood I was in. So I gotta go back again. I mean, they're completely unopened. They're still, you know, you can see they were never used. That's aluminum here. I'll have to get that off. These are just little C-rings. If I flip this, I can just pound with a hammer and knock that out. And there is there's a piece of aluminum there that I will obtain. Now, this is an I-core. Okay, see the bent arm? And always be careful when you're handling the I-core. Good morning, Tom. Fife Wheel King. That sounds like a musical kind of thing. I'm a musician. Are you into fife music of some type? I'm a music teacher by profession. Be careful when you're handling these I-cores. By the way, I tested these and they don't work. I was given permission to refort that. There's no hard drive. Look what you've got for memory. Maybe 2 gigs if you're lucky. The only value here is here. Be very careful when you're handling I-cores. If they are in good condition, they resell very well. And if you doubt me, check Snobby Scapper's video. He put a really good... Hi, Todd. Good morning to you. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys. Huh? You don't have to subscribe if you don't want to, although I would love you to. But very important that you hit the like. It really helps the channel a lot. This is an I-core 6500T. I don't know offhand what the value on this. I just know that I'm going to handle it very carefully. It is a pinless CPU. The I-cores have a lot more gold than the Xeons or the old Core Duos. They don't have the gold content. There's a lot more gold in this. You can actually feel the weight difference in these I-core chips. And now I'm going to put that this way, and I'm going to put it off to the side. It's pretty clean. This is not an old computer. I can't imagine. I just really can't imagine this doing much of anything, really. There's just nothing on it. There's no expansion. Somebody said that sometimes they use something like this to power a server. The server does the work, and this just... It's just, I don't know. I'm really not a computer person. I think any computer sees me and it runs for higher ground because it knows what I'm going to do to it. I would have expected an integrated motherboard. The I-core was a nice surprise, you know. And the resale is very good on some I-cores. There's even some i3s. Wow. Doc, be careful with the I-cores, man. There may be some really good resale on those. Let's see if I have the one I had from yesterday here. This was my creme de la creme. Woo! At least it was. That is an old Intel Celeron. Look at the gold recovery on that. I got that out of, what the hell did I get that out of? I don't remember. I got it out of an old computer. I remember that. Doc, take a check on Snobby Scrapper's channel. He did a really, really good piece the other day about reselling CPUs and some of the value on them. Definitely worth checking. Yeah, GPZ scrap. I save those. You know, they're just so cool. I did sell some a while back, but I put them up for auction. I had them in a shadow box, and I sold them as collector's items. I did really well with that. But sometimes you just got to raise funds. How much memory do you think you're going to get with this? 2 gigs maybe if you're lucky? 8 gigs. Ooh, I lied. Okay. I keep my PC RAM separate from my server RAM. I don't know. I just do. This... I think this came out of one of the hard drives. I think it broke off And I think there's gold pins under there. I don't know. We'll go over there with its friends. So there's not a heck of a lot in here that I can see. I can't even imagine the frustration of using something like this. It's probably slower than molasses in the freezer. Can't even imagine making use of such a thing. I have 3 of them here. I am going to take them apart. Number one, they don't take very long. And if I do anything today to raise some funds, it's going to be get a load ready to ship to one of my buyers. I've got probably 20 I-cores that I got to ship. Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of stuff that, Doc, you're very welcome. Yeah, take a look. The pinless CPUs, and Xeons, and I-core Duos, and things like that, you know, they're really not worth much more than scrap right now. But the pin CPUs, Doc, yeah, they're really good. And, of course, more currently, the I-cores. You want to save those. There's 3 or 4 times the gold in these I-cores that there are in regular pinless CPUs. But, yeah, no, Snobby Scrapper did a real good thing, real good video the other day. He sells them on eBay. But, you know, and he did really well. It was a really, honestly, it was an inspiring video. I can't think of any other word for it. It just really was inspired. Snobby Scrapper, you inspired us all. A lot of really smart people on this channel. You know, everybody's into different things. Everybody's got their own little niche. Mine is this. I like taking things apart. I like reselling. So something like this, I'll take this. Gold connector pins, those you can sell. And then like this kind of stuff, I've got a bin of low grade material. They pay like 40 cents a pound for the low grade stuff. So I just got a garbage can full of that. In the storage bin, out of the house. Oh, God, it feels so good to be getting the house back. It's just been one disaster after another. So there's the board. You can see there's not too much on it. The value was in the chip. I was surprised to find an I-core chip in here. I really was. Nicely surprised. Just a flip chip. There's not a lot on the board. There's some good gold pins here, some nice gold pins here, some good gold pins here. But I can sell this as an I-core green motherboard. They're not paying a heck of a lot because there's just not a lot on it. And that's true for all of the I-core boards. They've come way down in value. I think the last price I saw was $1.49 a pound. You know, and when you're spending $1 a pound to ship them, yeah, it's nobody's fault. It all has to do with what kind of precious metals are in and out of the, you know, what kind of money is in and out of the board. You know, if they're crummy, well, they're not going to sell for very much. And as a buyer, I'm not going to buy them for very much. So all of the boards are being graded differently. For further information on that, I would refer you to the boardsort.com website. Very comprehensive video about how they have changed their board grading process. They also have a really cool tool called OSCAR. I don't know what it stands for. Optical scanning something, something, something. Basically, you take a picture of your chip or your board or whatever it is. You send it to OSCAR to look at, and OSCAR will tell you what it is and what board sort is currently paying. In a nutshell, and I know I've repeated this a lot the past couple videos. Hi, Omar. Good morning to you. I've been repeating this a lot because it's frustrating, but I understand it, and I don't really want to get into the whole narrative. Basically, it has to do with the newer the boards, the less precious metal is in them. So all of the current boards have been downgraded. There are less valuable chips. There are less valuable gold components. And the quality of the board has gone down. So here, See, this was obvious. This was some kind of telecom equipment. There's a lot of gold here. They use this for something, telecom. Or maybe these went out to the servers. I'm not 100% sure. I would value somebody else's opinion on that. Mine is speculative. So, I mean, this is not a great board. The only value is going to be right here. If this wasn't here, this would be what they call integrated motherboards, which is what I thought I would find. I was surprised to find an i5 in here. Delighted, but surprised. Shadow Taco, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that very much. If your comment or your like or your name goes by and I didn't see it, please accept my apology. If you have questions about anything, please leave me a message. If it's a question I can answer, I usually I do read my comments, the messages rather, and I'll tell you, these are nice and clean. These are very, very clean. I hope it's a serial number that's desirable. Good morning, Eric. When you're handling, and again, you can see right off that is an iCore, so I'm going to be extra careful taking this out. I don't want to damage it because I send it to a test and buy program, and if it works, they're going to buy it from me at a good price. I could put it on eBay. I don't know that it works, though, and that's the problem with that. iCore, again, don't touch the gold. If you contaminate this, the chip will not work and it won't pass the test and buy program. Anyway, I got off topic. I do that sometimes, sorry. I was talking about board sort having changed their grading, and basically, hi Chad, mostly what's going to happen if board sort does it? Everybody's going to do it. They are what everybody follows, and that would include me. This is an i5. Sort does it. Everybody's going to do it. They are what everybody follows, and that would include me. This is an i5 6. Sorry about that. I don't know why people are calling me at 10 o'clock in the morning. I actually have gotten to the point now, if there's no name on it or it just says a town or unknown caller, I don't answer the phone anymore. I have so had it with spam. I have a voicemail and it says basically, if you're a legitimate person and you want to talk to Dee, leave a message and I'll call you back. I don't accept unsolicited phone calls or spam or sales calls or bill collectors or anything like that. If you're a legitimate person and you need to get hold of me, either text me or leave me a message and I will call you back. So tired of it. That's problem with owning your own business. Maria, your freaking phone never stops. And half the time it's not even customers. It's bullcrap people. So I've got two phones, one for the business, personal phone, and then I've got a landline, but actually right now it's disconnected because again, so much spam. I hate it. I can't stand it. You're trying to sleep at night or in the morning and some asshole is calling you to sell you car insurance or a warranty or some other stupid crap. So I just don't play it. Second cup of coffee time. But at least TikTok doesn't kick you off when you have a phone call come in. YouTube does. It shuts down your whole video. Hey Patrick, good morning to you, my friend. That was an interesting video on those curly wires you had. Eric, good morning. If I duplicate you or don't see you, forgive me. So anyway, I like TikTok's live format better than I like YouTube's live format. But one thing I prefer about YouTube is you can go over an hour. Right, the other guy. Good morning to you. Well, with YouTube, you can record, you can upload a video that's longer than an hour, and you can't do that on TikTok. So I use both. You know, both are very beneficial. Anyway, I digress. So I was talking about board sort. Here in the United States, they are the unparalleled leader in consumer education about boards and board buying. There's really nobody more knowledgeable than boardsort.com. So they changed, and I don't want to do a narrative on that today. I'm just not in the mood. It's not my topic. That's what it is. I tend to be a teacher, so I plan my topic around whatever it is I'm doing. Congratulations, Patrick. That's wonderful. How bad are the prices on brass and copper? Well, brass is doing well here in the States. Copper took a complete and total nosedive. Guys, hold your copper. If you go, hold your copper, guys. Seriously, oh my God. I am so glad that I sold half of my copper when it went up. And I held on to the other half. I'll wait on that. I had to raise some funds. Anyway, back to board sort. And I'm not a commercial for board sort. I'm not endorsed by them in any way, shape, or form. I really refer to it's their business model. So nice piece of RAN. I refer to them because of their knowledge base and the amount of consumer education they do. So they went and they changed all the pricing of all the boards. Mostly it affects the boards that are more plasticky. And that's basically what it comes down to. The more plastic in the board, the less they're going to pay. And as a board buyer myself, yes, I get it. We all base our prices around what board sort is doing. People I go to sell to base their prices around what board sort is doing. Everybody just follows them. Why? Because they're the authority on it. So when board sort dropped the prices, so did everybody else. And this is specifically where a lot of us who buy and sell boards took a hit. It's on these iCores. You can see the board. I mean, granted it came out of a small computer, but these iCore boards, they don't have a lot on them. You'll find them a lot in gaming computers. They'll be colored. Asus boards, they all have the iCore ARM. The value is in the chip if you can resell it. There's not a lot of value on the board, and that's just the way it is. They're $1.49 a pound right now to sell. To buy, they're even less. Okay. This, I actually had somebody email me and they're interested in purchasing it. This is the Pentium processor I pulled last night out of that really old computer. Slot processors are paying very well right now. And this is the board we got out of it. What was it? An old compact desktop. I have to go, I've forgotten what they grade these as. They have a grade all unto themselves as a slot processor board. But look at the gold recovery on this. I think we decided this was from 1995. So for comparison purposes, back to the board buying story, this is going to pay much better than this. This had a lot more gold in it. This board to buy today would be a lot more expensive than this board. So the manufacturers added a lot more plastic, got rid of a lot more gold, and they did it so everybody could afford. Thanks, JP. I couldn't remember off the top of my head. Well, actually, it's because I don't see that many of them. Large socket plastic motherboards pay very well also. But see, they don't make that board now. They made it 10 years ago, so it's a very long, complicated process. But if you really want to get a good check on that, yeah, please, I would refer you to the Board Sort website for a complete commentary. Or Shark Scrapper does a really good job with He's a really good teacher, too. All right. What's next? I'm going to do the last. I only have 3 of these, and I am going to do this last one, not to bore you to tears. I don't want to bore you to tears. I don't want to do that, but it's I tend to do a lot of the same thing when I do it. It's easier for me to take it and sort it and sell it. But I am going after I want to get the i5 chip out of here. I've got one other computer outside to do. I definitely want to send all of my iCore chips out today. Probably tonight. I am going to the beach today. That's what I'm doing. I've been working my derriere off, and happily so. I'm enjoying doing the channel. It's a lot of fun. I've got the e-scrap business pretty well sorted out. Everything's over in the storage bin. I have a shed that I'll finish building tonight when it's a little bit cooler. I've got to get the roof on it. This is, it's one of those metal sheds, but it's very good. I can put all of my, I can put the scrap metal in it and get it out of sight, and then when I have enough scrap metal, I can make a trip to the yard. So I think it's going to be a little more time and cost effective than just filling the truck and heading off to the yard. I like my neighbors. It's not fair that they have to look at my e-scrap crap. And, I don't like the yard being a mess either. Now that's interesting. This one, the cover came off. So, yeah. If I knock this plastic off, I can throw that in with small motors. There's nice copper inside the earth, paying 11 cents a pound on those right now. That was a pleasant surprise. So a nice piece of clean aluminum. Again, I'll just knock this off of here. That's in the later gator bucket. A little bit of RAM. And again, it says, if it's got an iCore in it, guys, it usually says it right on it. And that should help you with pricing out your pricing out a purchase if you're looking to buy something. I generally don't recommend these small frame computers, but I did know that it had the i5 on it, so that was pretty cool. So today is a beach day for this girl. I'm going to take myself to lunch. I really don't like our beaches. I live near Long Island Sound. May as well call it Long Island Sewer as far as I'm concerned. It's just disgusting. I don't usually swim in it. I don't care to. I could sell that just like that as a sheet and not bother taking the screws off. Or irony light. Okay, and again, I already know this is an iCore. It's got the bent arm. And I'm going to handle this extremely carefully. I see a lot of new names coming in. Please, guys, don't forget to hit the like button. That would really help the channel. If you're interested in computer scrapping, and, that's my bailiwick. I pretty much stick to computers. I do other electronics here and again, but, a lot of this is just not worth it. Thank you. I appreciate those likes. Thank you. They're very helpful to the channel. The algorithms and stuff. I have been doing very well with getting on in the morning. I try to be well. I overslept this morning. I didn't sleep well last night, so I slept in a little bit today, which I usually don't do. I like to get up and get at it, But so I try to get on in the morning when I can. I almost always go on Sunday mornings. Would you believe last week I was so into what I was doing, I didn't watch the time, and I missed church. I was very upset, but I did find I habitually, people actually will call and ask because I sit in one spot. It's my spot I've sat in for 30 years. I wasn't at my spot, and about 5 or 6 people called to see if I was all right. I said, I got so into what I was doing, I wasn't watching the time. I'm fine, and, But that was nice. Grew up in that parish, received all the sacraments there, and then returned back as an adult. I did a stint at the cathedral, which was really amazing. I was a student organist at the time. And the bishop's church was really cool. You saw things you never saw at local parishes, ordinations and award ceremonies. Same pew, same view. Yeah. The reason I actually sit over there is because Mom and Dad, when we were kids, that was the pew we always sat at. And, you know, that was always, So, anyway. I digress. So again, iCore 5, handle it extremely careful. This is extremely clean. I mean, the computer, I really wonder if they meant to give me these. Too late now. If they want it back, good luck. No, they don't power on. I tried already. And that's the trouble with these small floor computers. They burn. They burn a lot because there's just not a lot of chips on there to process. iCore 6500T. I got 3 of those now. And again, don't touch the gold. Keep your mitts off the gold or it's going to get devalued. Because it won't work. I am a family thing and I totally understand. Yeah, my parents actually donated a lot of money. They raised a lot of funds to build the school, and I was in the first, the charter class of the school for our local parish. Still friends with a lot of people who were in that circle. Anyway. Good morning, Red Blair. Thank you for the like. I appreciate that. And let me just get this last board out. Again, this is going to grade as an iCore series board. That's it. It's the lowest grade there is of actual boards. All right. There's nothing on it. This does have a good bit of gold, so this is kind of a little bit better than a lot of them. But the only gold recovery you're going to get here, I'm going to leave that because there's just not a lot on it. You'll get some recovery here from where the RAM was. You'll get some gold here. There's nothing on the back really of any great consequence. My buyer says I can leave the bracket. I'll leave it. A little bit of a, you get some flat packs and stuff like that. But there's no gold banded BGAs on these at all. I can see some gold here. Yeah, mediocre. All right, that takes care of those. I wanted to show you the iCores. Now, I have not yet tried to take one of these apart. And we all know what happens to Scrappy D when I try to take something I haven't taken apart yet on camera. I usually say, never mind, we'll see that one tomorrow. I have a box of these that I got, and they are something called TiVo, T-E-V-O. Save these guys, cut these off, put those with your gold connector pins. Oops. I teach CCD class, fourth year. Dave Donahue, did you get my message? I put those phones in with your eBay order, and I had to reprocess your PCI card order. I think I must have sent them out with my Goldfinger cards last week by mistake. But I have plenty of the same servers to get them from, so I'll get your order shipped out today. And I did put those cell phones in there. You can have them because what am I going to do with them? I don't have time to take cell phones away. And besides, you've been such a wonderful supporter since day one. So I need to make that right for you because I was late shipping your order, and that way I can do that for you. Yeah, thanks, by the way, guys. The eBay store is doing very, very well. I've sold out 2 weekends in a row. That's amazing. My niche is I don't do gold recovery. It's just one more thing to learn. Look at this thing. He's so cute. Little TiVo guy. I can't remember what TiVo was. I have no idea. Does anybody remember what TiVo did? I know I've heard of it. I just have no idea what it actually does. Made in Mexico. Now that's a cable box port. It must have been like a, anybody remember what TiVo did? I don't. So this is I don't think it's a computer. Component, Ethernet, HDMI, AV, USB, and power supply. Guys, I think this is the first time I've ever broken 10K. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think it's some kind of a router too, but I can't remember. I remember this guy, and I remember seeing them. I just don't remember what they did. All right. Now, how the blazes to get it apart. If I was outside, I would take a hammer. I can tell you, I'd take a hammer to it. Probably screws under these sticky little feet, huh? Let's find out. If I can't get this apart, I will get one apart off camera, and there they go. See that? I'm getting smarter as I get older. I won't be able to get too much smarter. I'm getting really old. Streaming devices would allow you to record TV to watch later. So basically, an early kind of DVD, like a digital recording device. Cool. Hi, Moira. How are you? Maybe. I don't know. I never owned one, so I don't know what's in there. Could be rubbish, guys. I warned you, this may be rubbish. I've never taken one apart. If it's rubbish, I won't do anymore. I like scrapping out these smalls every once in a while. Something different. Yeah, like I said, Scrappy D is heading to the beach today. I won't go for long. I like to go like between 11 and 1. Then I'll catch lunch. There's 3 or 4 really good restaurants right on the waterfront. I don't like to swim in our local beaches because they're disgusting. I come back and I'm itching and no thanks. I like to go, if I'm going to go to the beach, I like to head up to Rhode Island and go to the ocean beaches. Going to try to get 1 or 2 trips in next week. I'm hoping maybe some of my cousins will catch up with me on be able to go. But ew. Silver button. Those kind of things I'm saving. I have bins of them. I have not bins, but buckets. I suppose eventually I'll have bins full. I'm saving things like silver buttons. I'm saving things like tantalum capacitors. You know, when I get enough, I'll sell them. Ah, there's a nice chunk of aluminum, huh? When you cut these spring-loaded things, guys, make sure you put this away from your face. Actually, sometimes you can get them from the bottom, which is easier. But if you're going to cut them from the top, you're going to get a face full of E-scraps, so be careful. The 4th, David, welcome. Oh, guys, 11.8K. I never get that many. Thank you. I shouldn't say that. The channel's been doing very good. YouTube, not so much. I'm not getting the traction on YouTube. I'm getting it on TikTok, and I have to thank my family for that. You know. So, nice clean piece of aluminum. This is an integrated motherboard. There's no CPU on it. There's no removable CPU on it. This is what you get for a CPU, just a flip chip. This could probably go... Do I have any visible gold? I'm going to chuck this in with low-grade peripherals. It's decent chip-wise. A little bit of rubbish on it. But I do see very minute traces of gold here and here. Yeah, I'm going to throw that in with peripheral low grades, I think. You know, they pay okay. They're not bad. So that's what's inside of a TiVo, guys. Low-grade peripheral board. Peripheral board, anything that's not a motherboard. Simple as that. This is very light. That's probably aluminum. I've got gigantic buckets now. But those Home Depot buckets, I take everything I scrapped, I put it in the bucket, and I take it to the storage bin and I sort it. I have a... well, I'm going to set up a scale and boxes over there, and when I have enough of something, I'll fill a box and off it'll go. That's one mess I'm glad to have out of the house. Is that all I have left to do this morning? Yeah, we'll do one more TiVo just because it's here. Actually, hang on a second. My timer that I went to set didn't set, and I don't know why. So I have to watch my time here. Let's see if we can get this apart. This is an IBM some kind of IBM module. Let's see. Let's see. I like doing smalls. It was nice not to have it felt so good not to have to lug computers back and forth today, let me tell you. I get tired. Had to drill holes in the shed last night. I can't do, it sounds stupid, but I can't work on it at certain times of the day because of the position of the sun. Because of where I have it situated, I can't work on it till later this afternoon, till the sun gets behind me. Because otherwise I'm staring into the sun and I can't see what I'm doing even with sunglasses. So I will work on the shed a bit tonight. I'll have that done by the end of the week. I've got the sides up. I've got the back up, but something is out of line and I have to go back and see what I did wrong. My family thinks I've lost my mind. I probably have. But, you know, I can't stand the mess. I've done so much work at the yard. The backyard has had a lot of work done on it this summer. That was actually my goal before the freaking flood hit. I had already ordered all the stuff to do the outside, and that was where I was going to spend the money this year. So I've been outside a lot. I've got the two, well, the front gardens I fixed, my nephew and I fixed those a couple of years ago when Mom was still with us. We replanted those, and those look really nice. But we've had a huge oak tree that's been part of this neighborhood since I grew up, since I was here. It was 125 years old, and it was big then, back when I'm not 125. I don't mean it that way. But they had to take it down. It had like a green fungus. 125 years old is really not old for it. And it was like a picture-perfect specimen of a charter oak, which is our state tree here in Connecticut. I should be wearing gloves, guys. I know, I really should. My very first live, I cut myself so bad. Hi, Beehive. I have been watching lots of really cool videos about bees. I think bees are the coolest creatures. Not killer bees, those are not cool. I think bees are just fascinating. Now, this looks like an interesting thing. Sometimes I'll pick up like one or two things really cheap on eBay just to see what's in them. And if I find it's something that's made a decent scrap, then I'll start looking out for them in my regular sources. Very specifically, I was looking for IBM blade modules. A couple of scrap outs ago, we did these IBM memory modules. Oh my God, that was amazing. And I got those locally. I bought them from an IT guy who just needed room desperately, and we did really well on those. Those were very profitable for us. So I went looking for more, which I didn't find. But I did pick up these, and they were cheap. Toshiba. So there's no gold banded BGAs, but there is good gold here. There's good gold here. A lot of gold back here. I think I would sell this as a high-grade peripheral board. It doesn't really warrant telecom because of this, and I think this is more like a module. So yeah, we'll put that in with. I'm going to put that in with high-grade peripheral boards. Plenty of gold, solidly populated with chips, and not a bunch of crap on it. So for me, peripheral board, low grade. No, sorry, high grade on that. High grade, plenty of chips. That's the worst thing that happens. My buyer disagrees with me and downgrades it. That's why I sell everything in lots of all the same. It's easier for them. It's easier for me. And, and it works out well for everybody. You get some nice brassy brass. Brass is paying well. Copper took a skid real bad. Woof. For those of you guys who are heading off to the yard with your scopper, Head off with your scopper to your crap yard. Your scopper to your scrap yard. Could be a crap yard, I don't know. Oy vey. I crack myself up, I'll be here all week. Oh, God. I only have 2 of these, and like I said, I bought them as a sample product. Sometimes, like I said, I'll buy 1 or 2 just to... Well, number one, I like to have some different content. I certainly don't like to show the same thing over and over, but you know what? I can find something different to share with you. You know, if you're going to create content, you have to invest a little bit of money to find content. I don't usually buy my e-scrap. I have an instrument rental business, a band instrument rental business, and a lot of the schools, since they know me and they know I do this now, I do pretty well with getting computers from my schools. I'm going to try to build on that a little bit more this year. I was supposed to retire this year. I did close my teaching studio. I was going to sell out my remaining inventory of instruments, and I was going to retire. But we had a flood Mother's Day weekend, and it did $70,000 worth of damage to my home. My insurance company says, oh, it was like that when you got it. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. Here's the inspection report. I just bought the house. Blah, blah, blah. So they're not going to pay. So I have to try to figure out a way to raise $70,000 to fix my house. So we're not retiring this year. So this gets into the whole thing of board depopulation. This is a board I would not depopulate, and I will show you why. Be very careful when you're pulling this. I can see it's a gold-banded VGA. If I force this, I'm going to tear that chip off the board. I'm not going to force it. Everybody with eyes can see. That's a gold-banded VGA. I'm going to leave it. This board I'm going to sell as a high-grade telecom board. And because I'm doing that, I cannot depopulate this. If I take this off, I'm going to get downgraded to either a peripheral board or a low-grade board, a low-grade telecom board. Plenty of gold here. I'm going to leave the copper. I'm going to leave the gold. I know there's 2 gold-banded BGAs under here, possibly a 3rd. Flip it over. I can see there's gold here. If this was a lower-grade board, I would pull these. But because I'm going to ask for telecom high, I've got to leave it populated. Lots of gold flashing here. It's a very good board. No problem with telecom high for this. No problem at all. There's even gold in these phone jacks. So in this case, I'm going to leave the heat shields. I could probably hit them with some heat and try to get them off. There really is no need. My buyer would rather I leave them and not damage the chip. So that is a high-grade telecom board all day. But I have to leave this. If I take this, it's going to get downgraded. So that's not something I want to do. There's my verification thingamajiggy. So I'm at my hour. I actually saw it this time. Southern Scrapper, and a very good morning to you, my friend. How are you? I've got 2 pounds of RAM, I think, in the store. I don't know what else I'm going to find. I think I've got 2 pounds. I may have only one. I'm not sure, but I've got some RAM. I got some RAM out of those servers. I've still got another 10 servers to go. I'm hoping to find some more RAM. Can't keep it in the store, guys. I made a big mistake last week. I sold a Catholic e-scrapper. We are a rare breed, says Red Beard. That's funny. Wait, you mean e-scrapping isn't a religion unto itself? I didn't know that. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, I want to get more involved with like doing CCD and Sunday school and sacrament prep, but right now I'm too busy. And that's down the road. That's something I'd like to get involved with. I mean, God, I've been a teacher my whole life. Why wouldn't I want to do that? All right. I have one more of those to do. And that'll put me right above an hour. And I don't actually know what they are. There's not a model number on here. I just know that I know they're IBM 26K 6482. I know there's some kind of module. They would slip into a cabinet like this, like a drawer, and that's what those do. This is a blade, so they unlock that and they pull this out. These modules are really super good, guys. If you're like me, most of you aren't though. I'm 65 years old. Slopping around 100-pound servers is really no longer in my realm of reality. I'd much rather scrap this. These blade modules have been great. You can see what kind of quality is in them. I definitely, if you can find blade modules, you're going to do very well. A lot of times they're processing units. They're like a tray that just lifts out. I've got one over here, but it's heavy as heck. You'll get a server that's like this big, huge, and it'll have 2 levels to it. You can lift out the top tray, you'll get CPUs and you'll get RAM easily. So I picked up a couple of pallets of those, and again, I did very well. Because I've got dual socket motherboards sitting in a storage bin because they're worth crap. I'm not going to get paid enough for them. So until that price sorts itself out. See, I think, my opinion, they need to break these boards. I can't repeat that person's username. Good one. I don't want to get a strike. But I agree with you after what they just pulled on OTD. He got TikTok Scrooged, let me tell you. So yeah, these are stripped. Crap, come on. Don't do that to me. I can't repeat things like that. I'm a lady. Usually. Hello, Joel Frankenberger. Welcome this morning. Guys, if you're interested in how to recover gold from RAM, check out Southern Scrapper. He has been freaking killing it with gold refining from RAM sticks. Definitely check out Southern Scrapper if you're interested in learning about gold recovery from RAM. Yeah, he's a really good one for that. Got to give my buddy a shout out. He gives them to me all the time. Yeah, we got a nice little community here. Not only on TikTok, and it's a very nice community, people that I've been blessed to be working with lately. Everybody's very respectful, every polite. Oh, you're welcome, Southern Scrapper. I am so impressed having watched what you've been doing the past few months. Unbelievable. Really unbelievable. Just absolutely killing it with gold recovery from RAM. You notice everybody's got a specialty. Mine is taking computers apart and reselling the insides. Yeah. By the way, guys, if any of you are into IT and you have an IT or electronics company here in Connecticut and you need somebody to come and help you because you have to destroy these things or you have e-scrap you need to get rid of, hit me up. That's what I do for a living now. Well, I do that. I do the music business too, but see, I own all those instruments already, so they're paid for, they're serviced, they're fixed. So I put those out on lease. So we lease those for 1 year from September 1st to September 1st. Parents don't have to worry about rushing to return it. They can leave it at the school. If the kid's going to play, they just renew the lease. If he's not, he or she is not, they just leave it at school and I go get it. I've shut down my office in Shelton. The parking is so bad. Oh my God. It wasn't, but we had a substantial flood here last year in the Connecticut area. The town of Oxford pretty much got leveled. The Naugatuck River overflowed like it had done in 1955. And it came out of nowhere. I mean, it was totally flash flood. So the Housatonic River overflowed really badly. The Naugatuck River overflowed badly. And the Connecticut Valley area got a lot of damage. I was able to get to my music school. I expected to see tubfuls of instruments floating down the avenue. But we were spared. But the problem is it's on a very main area. And because they've had to repair all the washed out roads, everything's been diverted down to where my store is, and there's no place to park. So, gotta deal with that. So, it's, my landlord is a pretty cool guy. And they're trying to get the building released so I can retire. And I just want to be home. Yeah. Alright, so again, same thing here. We're not going to depopulate the board. I know I mean, you can see it. See the corner? There's a gold banded BGA here. Gold edge BGA, whatever you want to call it. Lots of gold. Excellent chips. This will be a fine value for my buyer. I can sell it as telecom high. The second I take this off, and I'd love to, but then I won't get telecom high. I'll get peripheral. Probably peripheral high instead. Alright, I'm out of things to scrap, guys. Thank you for joining me this morning. Anybody looking to buy e-scrap? There's some posts on my profile page. I do sell large bulk orders of boards. You just have to arrange your own shipping because that's why I that's something I'm working at. I mean, if you saw my video yesterday, you can see I've got plenty of product ready to go. I'm just sitting on it, or I'm sitting on a lot of it right now. And of course, copper has gone down, and that's going to affect the board buying. When gold goes up, the price of boards goes up, except for these crappy. Except for these crappy iCore boards. Look at the difference. Okay? I mean, this is a high quality board. This is what we call shkita. Alright guys, thank you once again for joining me. It was nice speaking and discussing scrap with all of you this morning. I will be on Sunday morning, hopefully. Usually going somewhere between 8 and 10 so I can skedaddle to the 11:30 Mass. And I don't know about tomorrow yet. We'll see. I'm heading to the beach and to a nice lunch. I'm going to take myself on a date. Alright everybody, God in heaven bless each one of you. Thank you again for spending part of your precious time with me this morning. Great chat, great discussion. And yeah, thank you, Red Blair. Welcome aboard. Thank you for joining. Those are the kind of compliments that I really enjoy. Looking forward to learning more from you in the future. I'm a teacher. I've always been a teacher. It's what I do. Alright, so hopefully I will find some more different things to scrap for you. I still got an awful lot of servers to go through. Game plan is to go through those over the weekend. I am looking for RAM. I do have one very old vintage computer left from the driving school pickup. I'm going to probably save that for Sunday morning so I have some new content for the live. Alright everybody, God bless, have a good one, and stay wonderful. Bye-bye.